The first words I spoke in the original phonograph. A little piece of practical poetry. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go.
Right, I went and had my picture taken. Yep, Nancy said she wanted it to hang up with the pictures of her other 3 husbands, and I told Nancy I want to go to have my picture hung up in any rogues gallery. Well, she went to crying about it, and in order to keep peace in the family, I told her I'd have it took. While I was out in New York, I thought it'd be a good time to have it done. I had my hair cut and my store clothes on, and I looked pretty scrumptious for an old feller. Well, I went up to one of them picture galleries, and a gal showed me into a setting room, and it was just chock full of pictures. She said the picture man would be ready in a minute, and while I was waiting, I could look at the photographs. Well, gosh, there was a lot of them. Some had wedding clothes on, some of them had uniforms on, and some of them didn't have much of anything on. I guess they was actor folks. One gal, she said, was Miss Rockerbilt in her coming out gown. Well, sure, that was a real handy gown. All she'd had to do was been cough, and she'd have been out. Well, that picture fella come out and asked me how I'd have my picture taken in a group, full length or on a bust, and I told him I didn't go on a bust very often, but when I did, I went full length. I asked him how he thought I'd look good in a picture, and he said he thought I'd take a good picture standing behind a tree. Well, he sat me down in a chair and screwed a pitchfork into the back of my head, another in the small of my back, and twisted my head around till my collar was cutting my throat, and then he took my right boot and put it over on my left boot where I had a sore corn, and told me to look pleasant. Well, then he wheeled up that picture machine. I guess he was a little ashamed of himself because he hid his head under a rag while he was doing it. Well, just as he got ready to pull the trigger, a fly got on my nose and I sneezed. He said it'd be all right, and I paid him, and he said he'd send me my pictures by mail, and when they come, gosh, I was a sight. One ear was on top of my head, the other was hanging on my chin, and that fly looked like a mud turtle crawling on my face. And now Nancy gets the album out. She says, this is Ezra Hoskins, and this is Ezra's first wife, and this is Deacon Witherspoon, and this is Jim Lawson, and that's the picture Joshua had taken while he was down to New York. It's plain to be seen he was drinking. Gosh, that feller had me on a bus, sure enough.
The first words I spoke in the original phonograph. A little piece of practical poetry. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go.